I'm trying.
Recording in progress.
Larry, we can see you and hear you.
Did you hear that, Larry?
No.
She said, we can see you and hear you.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Hi, Leslie.
How's it going, Sharon? Hi,
It's
everybody.
good.
I'm
Everything's
having a
good.
problem.
Oopsie. Hang on. Sorry.
Leslie, any more information? A friend was asking me about Sinai Forum.
We're still working on it. We had a board meeting on Thursday, and there are some general directions that we're moving, but no exact final plans yet. So as soon as I have them, they'll be shared.
She said she got something, I think, in the mail or email or something.
We did a survey. We wanted to see how comfortable people were with returning and, you know, coming to the forum in a large group, and we gathered some good information. So yeah, we can chat more because I think Dawn might be, are you ready to go, Dawn? Not quite.
Thanks.
Yeah, not quite, Leslie. So we've got about 4 minutes if you want to talk.
Yeah, I would just be curious if anybody wants to share whether they would be comfortable gathering in a large group. I mean, you know, the university is at gatherings of 100, and we're looking at gathering in September, October, in the fall. And it's just interesting. There was an article in the New York Times today about, you know, how people feel about, you know, gathering again. And so it's challenging, but obviously we're all kind of dealing with the same thing in terms of planning events. Crickets. Just teasing.
I think it sounds fine. Doesn't bother me at all at this point after 2 weeks have gone past after my second shot. I feel like I'm bulletproof anyway.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. And I would say, you know, it's interesting because we were about 50-50 split in the survey in terms of, I mean, actually, that's probably what your friend was talking about, you know, people that are still concerned and others that feel like you, Doug, that they're ready to get back out. And I think we all miss certainly hanging with other people for sure.
You
Absolutely.
know, Leslie, I think it's hard to say at this point because they just announced that we may all need a booster in 6 months. So that says to me, does the immunity wear off? So I think I would personally, I would be cautious with 800 people sitting as close together as you have. So
yeah, and the bottom line is it really comes down to what the university will allow. A lot of it's out of our hands. So I mean, actually, that is why we just haven't made an announcement yet. We're just kind of holding off until we have something.
Well, thank you. I just, because she mentioned something about the mail, she didn't say what. So that's why.
Gotcha. Yeah, we've got some good stuff planned. So you'll hear about it soon.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Susan, does Chris contact you about your friend? You're muted, I guess.
No, he didn't.
Okay. Well, I sent him the info, so I'll follow up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Forgot my phone number, and that's how. There. It was Zoom password.
Was that?
Well, good afternoon, Rotarians. Welcome to the April 19th, 2021 Valparaiso Rotary Club meeting, where we grow diverse leaders for local service and global impact through meaningful and dynamic connections. As you all know, we continue to celebrate Valparaiso Rotary's 100th birthday, and we will talk today about a few noteworthy facts from the 1980s. In 1981, the Valparaiso Chamber of Commerce and Rotary worked together to install signs across from VU, welcoming folks into our community. In 1983-84 was the beautification and unification of Valpo schools, a landscape project across from Dolings, a Boys and Girls Club computer center, an OE van, Hilltop and Rotary shelters. In 1985, Rotarians began giving rings to high school teams winning a state competition. And I believe we owe rings today to our high school gymnastics team. So that's exciting. In 1986, Rotary sent books and polio aid to Sierra Leone, West Africa. And in 1989, the board voted to ban smoking from club meetings. I would like to thank Greg Farrell for bringing us together through Zoom today. Thank you, Greg. And now if you would all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Leslie Plezak, invocation.
Okay, hi everybody. With all of the differences that we're facing in the world and on display in front of us all the time, I think it's important that we remember that Rotary is a non-discriminatory, non-political, and non-denominational organization. It's comprised of members from a wide range of faiths and political views, and I think we are better because of it. So please bow your head. And most of humankind has a strong desire to do good, to be honest, to serve others, and to faithfully fulfill their obligations to their families and their communities. Help us as Rotarians and human beings to do good. Help us to be honest and ethical in our dealings. Help us to serve others without pause or consideration of personal views. And help us as Rotarians to fulfill our obligations as neighbors, to our community, our nation, and our world. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. All right, I do see a couple of guests. I see Barb Bakos. Welcome, Barb. Thanks for joining us. And Mike O'Donohue. Thank you, Mike, for joining us as well. I know they are well on their way of becoming members of Rotary. Anyone else visiting Rotarian or guest? Not today? All right. Sergeant at Arms, Jonathan Kraft. Did I see you, Jonathan?
Yes, how you doing, Dawn?
Good, thank you.
Anyone out there have any good news? Not everyone talk up at once. Anything exciting?
I'll share something. We had a 2-year-old's birthday party over the weekend. Hadley turned 2 middle of last week, and so we had a party for her, which was something different compared to last year because we had to wait until the summer, and so she got to have a party right around her birthday. So that was a fun afternoon.
It's great. It's great to have some normalcy back with that. The kids definitely like it. So I know my kids are bugging me because we didn't have a birthday party for them. And when are we doing this? So Now you got to have 2 birthday parties in one. I hope this doesn't mean double gifts. That's all. Anyone else?
Yes, I'm Doug Busby.
Hey, Doug.
Hey, I am really excited about the program coming up with the district conference this weekend, starting on Friday and going into Saturday morning. I'm hoping to see a number of my colleagues in our Rotary Club attending. A lot of work has been put into it by a very large committee headed by District Governor John Frischie. And a lot of familiar faces will be participating. I understand that the number of people signing up, it's free. And so people sign up on the internet and eventually get into workshops that they feel of interest to them. And it's going to be a good time. And I think very informative to all of us about what Rotary is doing, particularly at the district level. So that's my announcement.
Thank you, Doug. Anyone else? Hi
yeah.
there.
Yes, do I get to say something?
Yes, you do.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. It is good news. Today, my son he got into Afghanistan last Monday, and he is an officer. He's a captain, but the main thing is he's a Valpo grad meteorologist. And today he sent something to me, and he said this: "Yes, I am the Coalition Meteorological Officer for the Coalition Forces, AKA U.S. Air Force or United States Afghanistan Forces, all of them, NATO, U.S., and Afghan National Army." And so he has to call for his job. There's only one other meteorologist in his rank. But for his job, he has to have the entire country weather at his fingertips to answer to any of the generals that need it from him at any time. I'm very proud of him, but I'm mostly proud of the fact that he got his degree from VU.
Well, thank you for his service, and hopefully he stays safe over there.
You better.
Jackie?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank him from all of us for his service. At some point, if he comes back to the States, he would be a great speaker for the Veterans Committee meeting to hear about his experiences. So,
yeah, you know, they're in Shreveport, Louisiana right now, but they do come back. And he's only supposed to be there for 6 months, so I will let him know. But he's an excellent speaker, and he's always spoke on my behalf because he was always so much better, little stinker. But yeah, thanks.
Well, I don't know who's in charge of the Veterans Committee and whether we're even going to have a Veterans Day program this year, but yeah.
He would be great at that, yeah.
Yeah.
He's an amazing young man.
Thank you, Janie.
He is.
Jane knows him.
He's amazing.
Okay.
I have something, Jonathan.
Yes.
This weekend, actually, I visited my kids and grandkids for the first time after all this started down in Indy. And my 11-year-old grandson, ever since this started, he got into birding big time. He actually has a podcast on Spotify called Everything Birds. And their yard is, I forget which organization does this, but has been designated as a natural habitat, although they live right in the city. And when I drove up, there were a couple of mallards sitting there, right in their front yard. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you. Anyone else with any good news?
I have some good news. I went to a Cubs game on Friday, kind of back to normal. Although there was nothing normal about it except that the Cubs lost. That's kind of normal.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough year. Just hold on for this. Actually, I think it's going to be a rough few years. But hey, we're back to the lovable losers, right? You know, we know, but that was only fun for a short time. Let's just go back to what we know well. So that's good. So, anyone else out there with any good news? Anyone else?
This is Deb. I had a fantastic weekend with the family. I had my granddaughter Elle, my son's daughter. Her first communion was this weekend, and Meenakshi, I'm surprised I didn't run into you there in Indianapolis. But anyway, sounds like we both had a great weekend with our grandkids.
Hey, Jonathan, you're on mute.
You didn't want to hear anything I had to say anyways. It was much better on mute. That's the way people like me. Anyways, no, it was good. Deb, we got to run into each other in Arizona too. So that was fun to get to see you guys out there too. So anyone else, any other good news? If none, you guys always know I love sharing some fun auction facts, but there's absolutely nothing really exciting going on right now. So I had nothing to share. So I thought I'm going to find some fun things, facts of history today to talk about. And April 19th is a very boring day. There is absolutely nothing exciting that's happened, or good, I should say. The biggest thing that's happened in history on April 19th was actually the Oklahoma City bombing, something that we all remember where we were, and nothing exciting. So my message to you today is do something memorable and do something good, because if you do, it could end up on the memorable things of April 19th, because there's nothing else out there. So you could become famous if you do something good today. So there you go. So guys, have a great week.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Yep.
All right, I have a few announcements before we get to our program today. I would like to echo Doug Busby. The district conference is this weekend on Friday and Saturday, so please RSVP Friday night, April 23rd into Saturday morning, April 24th. Our highway cleanup is Saturday, May 8th. We will meet at 7:30 a.m. at the corner of Silhavy and Laporte at the Family Express there. The ribbon cutting, of course, is May 12th at 5:30. Please RSVP to Jesse at the library. That day is also the Good Scout Award, where Stu McMillan is being honored for his contributions to the livelihoods of those in Porter County and living by the Scout Oath and Law. The reception is at 6, dinner is at 7. Also wanted to let you know that Senator Braun, Mike Braun, will be here with us on May 3rd. He will be a guest of Deb's. So if you have someone that you would like to invite to listen to Senator Braun, please feel free to give them the Zoom link. It doesn't change, it's the same every week. So feel free to email that to someone and invite them to be our guest. That's again on May 3rd. We will be in person beginning May 17th. So good news, we'll get to see each other and our smiling faces on May 17th. We will continue to have the Zoom option for those that are not comfortable. All right, and there is, I'm working on this. I didn't get a chance to talk to Greg Farrell before the meeting, but the Morgan Township Interact Club has a wonderful video that Deb shared with me, but it's too big for me to put in the email on DACDB. So I need to figure out a way to get it to all of you. It will be presented at the district conference this weekend. So if you want to tune in, make sure that you see it. But they are an amazing group of young people, proud to serve as Rotarians with them. And as soon as we figure out how to show you that video we're going to, because it shows all of their accomplishments. They've been very, very busy over the past year and a half or so. So thank you, Deb, for getting that to us, and we will work to get it to all Rotarians.
Don, I'll just get it to the, I'll get it from you and we'll put it on the YouTube channel, and then we can just set up a link to everybody.
Perfect. Thanks. Okay. Sounds great. All right. With that, I'll turn it over to Meenakshi so she can introduce our guest, Dr. Singh. Meenakshi?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce my friend, Dr. Harpreet Singh. He's a man of many talents. He's actually an internist, hospitalist, working at Northwest Laporte Hospital. And he moved to Valparaiso last year with his wife and 3 daughters. His wife is an absolute gourmet Indian food cook, and it's very sweet 3 daughters. But he is also a radio show host, an author, a speaker, patient educator, and I think he has a passion for nutrition. So he's done a lot of research on that. And with that, I'll let him tell you about himself and his research. Dr. Singh.
Hello, guys. Are you able to hear me? Okay. So, hi, I'm Dr. Singh. I am an internist. So my story starts from 6th grade. You know, I was in the 6th grade in Sacred Heart Convent School in India. I used to stutter, not able to speak my name even. Harpreet Singh was, and people used to bully me. So my brother, being a cardiologist, at that time he was an internist in India. So I used to go to his clinic and see him drawing pictures for the patients. And I thought, my gosh, that is kind of amazing. Drawing pictures and patients are not looking at his face. So if I start drawing pictures and become a doctor, you know, most probably, people will not notice my stuttering. So that's how my passion to become a doctor was in 6th grade. So, you know, because the time, you know, the nutrition takes a lot of time to understand. So I'm going to first jump into my lecture today, my seminar, so that we can spend more time on questions, and then we can share my stories a little. So I will start doodling also. People call me a doodle doctor, and I will start doodling also side by side. So whenever you see a nutrition label, so there are so many things you look at grains, vegetables, fruits. There are so many numbers. These are the numbers. And then the numbers across this and this. It is so confusing for us to understand the nutrition label. What I have done is I have made my life easier. If I can go, how to move forward slides. Do you know how to move forward the slides? Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to do this over here. Okay, so I'm going to do it like this so that I don't confuse the slide. So there are so many things we focus on in the nutrition, but really what our challenge in nutrition is that when we are shopping, that is a moment where we have to change our habit. What to look for, that is our main challenge. So you have heard about keto diet, you have heard about pyramid, you have heard about choose my plate, you have heard about DASH diet. There are so many diets available. And to change the patient's habits, what we need to do is we need to provide them with a simple, very simplistic tool where they can focus on key facts and choose those things and bring that to their home. So if you look at the sodium, there is a low sodium, there is a very low sodium, there is a sodium free, no salt, light sodium, reduced sodium. Even the light sodium has 50%. How do you remember all the things in nutrition? It is next to impossible. So I had a Caucasian female. This is in Big Rapids when I was practicing my own practice. So I had a heart failure patient. She went to the hospital 3 times, and then she came to my clinic. In those 3 times, she got 79-page booklet for heart failure. And I asked her how much sodium you should take. And she adds, her question really mesmerized me. Why? She said, oh, I should take only 2000 milligrams. So I asked her, what exactly is 2000 milligrams? So if I asked you this question, what exactly is 2000? Nowadays, it is 1.5 grams or 1500 milligrams. What exactly is 1500 milligrams? So that opened my mind a lot. I say, you know what? I have to do something for the patients. She got 3 booklets saying 2000. At that time was 2000 milligrams, but she does not even know how much it is. So basically nowadays we say that if you have a teaspoon over here, 3/4 of a teaspoon is 1500 milligrams. So that means a heart failure patient should get up in the morning, put 3/4 of a teaspoon on the side and take a pinch of salt from that each time. This is a wrong way to look or teach patients. How can you do, the non-added, the light sodium, all those things? This is a wrong way to look. So that was an eye-opener for me. And in our hospitals, we have to prevent readmissions because the 30-day, if the patient gets admitted in a 30 days time, Medicare does not pay. So there's a big push for the hospitals to prevent the readmissions. That was a kind of an eye-opener, trying to attach the economic part of with GDP going towards the healthcare. We are not even explaining the patients the proper way to look at the nutrition label. We are just saying, okay, eat 1500 milligrams. And so this was a research on obesity that by 2000, this was from the old research, that 36 people who are, the kids who are obese at a young age will be obese in adulthood also. This is the longitudinal trends in obesity, which is happening over here. So what we need to do is we need to teach our kids how to control our pantry, how to shop. So that was the building block where I said, buy right and eat right. And then obviously we will feed right. So this was an eye opener. So let me begin with a very interesting aspect of my medicine where I started. As I was teaching my patient, I came up with the concept of phytogy. So what it was, whenever you look at the label, you look at these S's and 3 C's. Okay. So what is S? Sodium. What is this S? It's a saturated fat. And what is this S? It's a sugar. C as in carbs, C as in calories, and C as in cholesterol. So when you look at the label, you look at 3 C's and 3 S's. So this is the most important thing in learning. When you chunk things for the patient, when you to chunk means have a small chunks. According to neuroscience, we remember things when we chunk for people. So this became as a part of triangle of junk. So C, 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 S, S, S. Humor is another way to teach patients. So when you teach with a humor, like, oh, triangle of junk, they start laughing. So again, you can have some, but it is a way to explain. So what happened was, once this triangle of junk is formed, so I added fat over here. Now, all fat is not bad. Good, they are good fats. And so I made this as FAT plus triangle of junk. So I call this as phytogy. So This is the rule which I developed to make my patient's life easier so they can shop smart. So I call this as FITUJI, the 20% rule. So whenever you look at the label, so what you have to look at the daily value. Now, this is the key part in this understanding. So whenever you look anything which is above this 20%, anything which is above 20%, you do not bring home. Now, how does it impact? So if you go with the habit loop, if you go with the Charles Duhigg habit loop, or you go with the hooked habit loop, or you go with the new book, Atomic Habits, or you go with the lean patient experience, my model. So what happens is whenever you have a trigger, you follow with an action and you have a reward. Trigger. What is a trigger? Trigger is hunger. Okay. And what action, when you're hungry, you go to a pantry. When you go to the pantry, the reward is you are less hungry, right? So if you have shopped bad things, let's say you have shopped with a soup which has more than 20%. So if you have a soup which is more than 20%, now you have to focus on, is this above 20%? Oh, yes. Is this above 20%? Oh, yes. Is this above 20%? Oh, yes. So this is less than 20%. This is above 20%. So any S's or C's, this is C, this is S, this is C, this is S. So any S's or C's which are above 20%, you do not bring home. Now you look at this. So this soup label has 45% of sodium times 2. So that is 90% in one soup can, you have 90% of sodium. If you have this in your pantry and if your kid is hungry, what he's going to do is he's going to open this soup can and he's going to eat. So to change a habit, you have to change the pantry or you have to change the shopping habits. If you had a label which was less than 20% over here, less than 20%, you would have won the battle right there, because if he was hungry, he would have eaten a good thing, a good soup. Now, this is part of 20%, right? Now, if in my clinic, in my hospital, I have only 2 minutes to teach patients. So I just teach them this 20% rule, okay? So automatically, if they're going less than 20%, the sodium will be less. Let's say now, if they are going with 10%, now, according to American Diabetic Association or according to the guidelines, nutrition guidelines, you are supposed to eat 2,300 milligrams. Let's say the is less than 23. If you are going 10% per meal of this is 230 milligrams. You are eating 230 milligrams in one meal. If I have my patient saying you cannot eat more than 20% per meal, so you're at 460, and if you're having 3 meals, let's say approximately 500 milligrams, 3 meals is 1,500, and this is the heart failure restriction. And this is what the DASH diet is: restrict sodium to control your blood pressure. What I have done is I have scrolled all the mathematics I've taken out. I have given you, when you shop, you focus on less than 20%, you bring less than 20%. That's it. It becomes easier. Now, if you go with this label as this is a light Southwestern style vegetable, look, light, Weight Watchers, all the good words. I have taken the labeling out for copyright issues. And so all the good words are written over here, light, Weight Watchers, and you get attracted by this. And when you look at the label over here, oh, 29%. And what is the rule? Rule is you focus on less than 20%. Oh, 29%, 2 servings per container. So 29 times 2 is 58%. If you open this up, eat the entire can, your blood pressure is going to go through the roof. You will be having a heart failure. You will have swelling in the legs. When you have swelling in the legs, you will go to the doctor and get the Lasix. And then you will say prescribing rut, and then say, hey, you know what? I get swelling in the legs, So this is the key way. First thing to look at is the 20% rule. Then the next part of the label, I call this as a green phytogy, amber phytogy, and red phytogy. So if it is more than 20%, any part of daily value goes above 20%, you call this a red light, amber, green. So if you have a heart failure patient, you really want to focus on preventing readmissions, you go with this, less than 9%. Now, April 19th, today, 2021, they said there was nothing happening, nothing happened in the history. Today, I'm going to help 52 patients or 52 people in Rotary to understand the label. So we are going to name this as Phytogy Day, so that you can understand when you are looking at the label, you remember an imaginary Phytogy sitting right in front of you, looking at the label and looking and choosing those things. So what happened with this was, it's a part of a humor. Patients learn with the humor, they learn more. And this is one of the best ways which I figured out to prevent the admissions. So we can do some research. So this is from the guidelines. Limit these nutrients, get enough of these. If you start seeing this, it's the same thing. So less than 5% is less or low, more than 20% is more. This is the same thing which is mentioned in the guidelines. What I have done is I made it more humorous, more funny to understand it. So if you start seeing, let's say if this is a soup, it's a 1 cup of soup, and servings per container, there are 2 servings per container. It says 1 cup. This is kind of so 20%, 490 milligrams. And there are 2 servings. You have to only have half, but they say 1 cup over here, you're going to have 2 times 20, 40%. Again, you will be my guest again in my hospital or my clinic if you have this 40%. This is the fun part. Just, then when I consult the patients, hey, if you want to be my guest again, please have this 1 cup of soup. And they start laughing. So humor is the best way to understand medicine. So then, again, this is because of the time, because I'm going to give you opportunity to ask me questions. I'm going to discuss more about this. So now look at this, 1 cup, 2 servings, 19%, less than 20%. This is the first rule, okay? Now, this is very interesting. This pizza, look at this, sodium is 36%. Immediately when you look at this label, you know what? This is above 20%. I'm not going to have it. If you have 1 slice of pizza, has 36% sodium, 31%, 20%, 1 slice. And if you have 2, you can start doing the calculations. If you have 3, you can start doing the calculations. And have you ever eaten 2 slices of pizza? Oh, yes. So look at this. This is one of the interesting. This is less than 20%, right? Okay. And you say, okay, it's a bagel. Bagel is bagel, but it is only half a bagel. This is how they bluff people. If it is 1 bagel, then it would have been above, this would have been 4%. And this brings us to the next concept. I call this as 20%, 20 grams. So first thing you look when you are shopping is this 20%. If it is less than 20, then you look at the total carbs. Okay. This number, total carbs, should be less than 20 grams when you look at the label. When you look at the label, less than, so 20, 20. So if you are having a full bagel, that means you're having 68 grams of total carbs. 68 grams of total. And diabetic person can have only 45 per meal. So this is where the confusion starts. Now look at this half cup. Now this is where it starts becoming confusing. So there are 4 servings, half a cup. First thing is you look at this. Is it above 20%? Oh yes, I'm not, just don't even focus on this. I'm not going to bring home. Oh, if after this, if this was less than 20, and if this is going above 20, oh, I'm not going to bring it home. This is out. I am not going to even look into this upper part. My calculations over here will start only after first step, second step, and the third step. Then look at this soup. Okay. Oh, okay. 37% gone out. I'm now going to bring home. I will come to this part 2.5 times 37 later on, and only half a cup. If this does not meet my criteria, I'm not going to go. So this is where the problem starts. Percent daily value, this is based on 2000 calorie diet. Now, do I really need 2000 calorie diet? That's what we say is calories in is calories out. This is a wrong concept. Calories in, because they don't factor in the storage of fats. Going into a little bit details, usually what the requirement according to the Mayo Clinic healthy weight pyramid is this. But it all depends on how you're responding. Now, this is kind of a little different kind of a way to teach nutrition. So this is an amazing article on intermittent fasting. So these are the articles which, why I call my diet as United Diets of America is I've taken each and every diet together and put that into one little presentation. Now I can keep on going on, but there are only 10 minutes left. Okay, the first part of the nutrition label is clearly understood. What we can do is intermittent diet is another chapter. What I would like to close my presentation is with this, so that it is understandable, easy. So what happens in diabetic patients? I'm going to explain you very simple one little cartoon over here. So when you have a diabetic patient, okay, so let's say this is a diabetic patient. Diabetic patient, this is the liver on this side, this is a pancreas, this is the GI tract, this is the kidneys. We are going with calories in is equal to calories out concept, which is a wrong concept because we don't entertain what amount is required to fat storage. The most important thing is if you understand with the diabetes patient, what happens is the number one medication is metformin. Okay, so metformin reduces the blood glucose production. Another medication is, now I have no stocks in Farxiga, Invokana. I'm not getting paid for them, but these are the best medications you should talk to your doctor, Farxiga or Invokana. That helps to leak out the glucose. Then there is another medication which is called Victoza, Trulicity, Byetta. These are the medications which act as GLP-1s. So these are the medications which reduce the blood glucose. Again, because of time constraints, I will not go into that, but there is a huge presentation how we can manage diabetes with the nutrition and not just go into the medication straight away. If you understand these three concepts, you have to reduce the blood glucose. And the concept of eating 6 meals a day, the wrong concept. Is absolutely wrong concept. Why? If you keep on giving spikes to a patient, if I keep on giving, so I eat a meal. If I eat a meal and the glucose goes up, and this is followed by the insulin. If I keep on having the spikes like this, I keep on eating So this insulin, which is being released from the pancreas, is like a key. This key acts on the insulin receptors and the glucose enters into the muscles. We cannot keep on pinging these receptors again and again. We have to do some form of an intermittent fasting from 7:30, or I call 7-11 approach, 7 p.m. to 11 a.m. Why? We can discuss later on. I can keep on going. I have to leave some time for the questions. It's already 12:54. Please go ahead and ask the questions. Any questions?
Can I interject?
Yes, please.
I just wanted to mention that I really appreciate the fact that you are bringing this up, because most doctors will not discuss nutrition when you go to their office, you know, and I truly appreciate the fact that you're bringing these things up.
Oh, thank you.
And Dr. Singh, in the chat, I see that one of our Rotarians, Nick, has a question. If you only eat 20% carbs max, then the rest will be 80% fat and protein.
So that's a good idea about having discussion about the, he's kind of mentioning a keto diet, which is less carbs. And so what happens is a good carbs and the bad carbs. So the good carbs, what you think of, what I do, let me tell you what I do. So I get up in the morning, I have a smoothie, which is made with an base is avocado, spinach, kale, all greens. That's my start. When I'm off, like I work 7 days on, 7 days off. So about 11 o'clock, I will have a smoothie of kale, spinach, and avocado, and strawberries and blueberries. These are all keto diets. Okay, so base is of a keto diet. Once in a while, I will do like 1/4 of a banana, which is a non-keto diet. Okay, I'm a fan of all the diets. Okay, or I will put 1/4 of an apple, just a little bit. Okay, just to change the taste. So what Nick is mentioning is, I like low carb diet. Very, very important to have a low carb. So what we are going towards the diet of low carb, we don't need a whole lot of carbs, because to the mechanism of gluconeogenesis, body will make good, you know, whatever body needs it, it will make it.
So I have a question about the fasting. Is that for everybody or just for diabetics? Because you mentioned it for diabetics, but I'm wondering, is it best for us all to do that intermittent fasting?
So for diabetic, it is a little tricky, because you will have some muscle cramps, you will have some headaches, because you will have muscle cramps at night. So you have to have a magnesium bath, or you dip your feet. So when you have when you are doing diabetic and intermittent fasting, you have to be under the guidance of a doctor, because you will get withdrawals. When you are not a diabetic, you can start with the 8-hour fasting, not 12 hours of fasting. So I do 7-11, because 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock when I come home, I will have at that time. So, but when you are diabetic, you have to be very cautious, because your blood glucose and your sugar, you don't want to have a hypoglycemic event. So when I start with the diabetic diets, with the intermittent fasting, first I want to remove all the hypoglycemic agents like glimepiride, glipizide, glyburide, all those I call not really a good medications, which will drop your sugar really bad. Those medications should not be even in the market, to be very honest. So if you're a diabetic, we have to have an individual consult, and I can brainstorm with you how to do it.
Yeah, but the rest of us, you said we should do it. For the rest of us, we should do it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's to do it. Yeah, intermittent.
And Dr. Singh, that should be from 7 p.m. at night until 11 the next morning. Is that what you're recommending, the hours for fasting?
Yeah. So you can break your fast if you have to work at, like, say, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. You break your fast with a cup of coffee or cup of tea without milk, because that lactose in the milk will break your fast. So it will not have that much effect. You can have, like, if you have to have an apple cider vinegar in the morning, with a straw, you drink with a straw, because that helps with the breakdown of the fat cells. It's a complex mechanism, So again, there are things. So all the diets accompanied in one. So all the things which I've taken from different diets and put in one, and hopefully I will get one day to my United Diets of America blog started. So
wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so very much for being with us today. Lots of valuable information that we can take to the grocery store the next time so that we fill our pantries full of good food. Our fat toji will be looking at us, the green, the yellow, the red, and we have our triangle of junk in mind. So thank you for breaking it down into language that we understand and we can actually need to stay healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Meenakshi. Thank you, Becky.
And we are going to donate a children's book to the Valparaiso Public Library in your name, Dr. Singh, for being with us today. So thanks again for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right, Rotarians, next week we will have Stephanie Trendowski here. She is a maternal health ambassador. And then tomorrow night is one of our Rotary chats. So I will send out an email. If you are available at 7 p.m., please tune in by the Zoom link to join us on the Rotary chat. Now, if you would join me in the 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great week. Bye-bye.